In 2005, Steven Spielberg directed a big-budget sci-fi film called War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, Justin Chetwin, and Tim Robbins. Though commercially successful, the film is largely regarded as one of Spielberg's lesser efforts and was not taken seriously by most critics at the time.
I'm surprised this film is so clunky and old-fashioned, and the alien machines have no presence or personality.
What I want to present in this video is another way of looking at the film, a way that in my view reveals a deeper meaning than it was initially credited for. 11 years prior, in 1994, Spielberg released his critically acclaimed Holocaust film, Schindler's List.
This is the most important experience I had being a film director. I don't think I'll ever do anything as important.
The same year, he also established the USC Shoah Foundation, an organization which strives to collect the testimonials of survivors of the Holocaust and other genocides. The project has been going on until today. The Holocaust thus is something that Spielberg is interested in for many years. In a way, I feel that War of the Worlds is Spielberg's second Holocaust film. While Schindler's List protagonist was a problematic individual, a German war profiteer, who when faced with the unimaginable cruelty of the system he was a part of, made the altruistic choice to save his Jewish workers, who otherwise would have been killed by the Nazis. In War of the Worlds, the protagonist, a selfish, immature, unfunctional father, is trying to save the lives of his own children from the claws of the alien tripods, which are out to exterminate the human race. The two men are very different. One is coming from the side of the predators, the other from the side of the prey. One is making a selfless choice to save the lives of strangers, while sacrificing his own self-interests, while the other is doing anything he can to save only the lives of his own children. Yet both men are on a mission to save lives, while confronted with a fierce and almost mythical killing machine, with a common end goal: the extermination of another race. In both cases, Spielberg is using an extreme situation in order to bring out the good in people that earlier on would have been considered morally problematic. Unlike in H.G. Wells' novel of the same name, on which the film is based upon, in Spielberg's War of the Worlds, the tripods, although apparently of extraterrestrial origin, are buried in the ground of the Earth for millions of years before they are activated by lightning bolts and start their destruction spree. When seen from the perspective I present here, one can choose to see them as a metaphor for the dark forces which are buried inside of humanity until they erupt due to outer circumstances, causing destruction and chaos. Very much like what happened in Germany at the end of the 1930s. As we know, the rise of Hitler and the Nazi Party eventually led to the Holocaust, which is portrayed in Schindler's List. The film also presents some familiar sights which are typical of genocide situations, such as the long lines of people who escaped from their homes and are trying to find safety somewhere else. In War of the Worlds, it seems that Spielberg is using Tom Cruise's film persona in order to make a point. The human race is faced with the threat of a total extinction, and Spielberg places in the center of this drama the best candidate to save humanity. A graduate of films such as Top Gun, Minority Report, and Mission Impossible, the ultimate alpha male hero. After the lightning bolts hit the Earth, we can see that Ray Fair, played by Cruise, is drawn to the danger. He leaves his children and walks to where the lightning bolts had hit in order to try to get to the bottom of what is happening. Naturally, knowing Cruise's film history, the viewer's expectation is that Ray will be the one who will challenge the aliens and save humanity. But from the moment the tripods begin their attack, our expectations are quickly shattered. Throughout most of the film, escape is Ray's only plan, and fear seems to be the main thing that dictates his actions. Admittedly, there are two instances during the film where Ray is showing an interest in the faith of other people besides his own family. One is when he's trying to persuade Manny the mechanic to get into the car before the tripod will attack.
Guy's gonna come back. He's not gonna.
Manny, I don't have time to explain.
This is busting my chops here. I got a shop to run. You know how many
Manny,
people's
listen to
cars?
me.
No, Ray, get out of the car.
Get in, Manny, or you're gonna die.
The other is when he meets his friend Cheryl and her daughter Nora. After they get separated, he tries to persuade the soldiers to let Cheryl and Nora on the ferry.
Listen to me. There's 3 of us, not the 5. There's only 5 of us.
So in this brief moment, he broadens the scope of his responsibility from 3 people to 5 people. In both cases though, he fails and quickly regains his main focus, saving the lives of his own children. Throughout his escape, Ray refuses to let anyone in the car and tries to prevent his son from joining the army in order to fight the aliens. Anything that has to do with the greater good is forcibly rejected by Ray as a dangerous idea. Many films are dealing with a father devotion to his family in the face of a great danger. Some of them are played by, well, Oskar Schindler. In War of the Worlds, though, it seems that Spielberg is trying to convey something even more specific. The ideal of saving one's family while actively excluding everyone else. Spielberg's point of view is crystallized at the end of the 3rd act, when Ray and his daughter are hiding at the basement of Harlan Ogilvy, played by Tim Robbins. Harlan is a man who lost his family to the tripods and is determined to find a way to beat the aliens and save America.
We're the resistance, Ray. They can't occupy this country. Occupations always fail. History's taught us that 1,000 times.
A character that in other similar films might have been the main hero is portrayed in Spielberg's film as a complete lunatic whose delusions are dangerous to the point that Ray is left with no choice but to kill him. So, according to Spielberg, when placed in a situation like that, the only moral choice for a parent would be to save his own family. Harlan not only failed to do so, but his grandiose plan to beat the aliens was deemed as immoral, and for that, he had to pay the ultimate price. He is the real human antagonist of the film. Unlike Ray and Schindler, he is an example of someone that the chaos has brought out the worst in him. Ray, on the other hand, is the hero of the story, because he prioritized the safety of his children above anything or anybody else. It is worth noting that in Schindler's List, Yakov Stern, who helped Schindler to save many Jews while working for him, had no children of his own, so his altruistic actions did not mean that he had to put the well-being of his children at risk. While in Schindler's List, Spielberg touched on the personal stories of the survivors and their efforts to save their family. Yet his main protagonist was Oskar Schindler, who is praised exactly because his actions were anything but common during that dark time in history. On the other hand, any Jewish parent during World War II had to face similar difficulties as Ray Freer had to in War of the Worlds. Like Ray, some of them might have been unfunctional parents and had numerous other issues that could have occupied many great family dramas. But all of these issues become totally unimportant at the moment your kids' lives are threatened. Thank you for watching, and what do you think? Is my theory far-fetched, or do you agree with me? I would really like to get your feedback so I can produce better content in the future. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'm going to put a lot of similar content in the near future.